Yeah. I mean, you saying that, uh, there's a study called Pull the Goalie, where it's like an analytic. This is more about the kind of emotional vulnerability of coaches. And so, the concept of pulling the goalie in hockey, when you're down, you pull your goalie, put an extra offensive player on the ice and try and score, but you leave your goal open. Uh, there was this mathematician who put together a study who said coaches wait far too long to pull the goalie. So, for example, like if you're down 2 goals, coaches might not pull the goalie until the last 60 seconds of the game, to
Yeah,
try
but what
and
do you do?
yeah, try and equalize the game. Even with like being down 1 goal, they'll wait till like the last 45 seconds or 30 seconds to pull the goalie. Whereas the data says like if you're down 2 goals, you should pull the goalie with like 9 minutes left to try and equalize it and then like get more even. But it says the likelihood of you losing by a lot more significantly increases, but the likelihood of winning increases as well. Like you give yourself, so if you think what's the best chance to win, it's do this, but it also increases your likelihood of getting embarrassed. And that's why coaches don't do it. They would rather lose respectably than give their team the best chance to win and at the same time potentially lose
Hmm,
horribly.
interesting.
And it influences a lot of decision making, not based on data, but just in terms of perception. You don't want to be perceived as the coach who lost 15
Facts
to
and
2.
feelings,
And
baby.
yeah. But it, having this conversation is reminding me, I'm like, oh, that's like part of the emotional development or vulnerability. Like a coach has to have a really strong conviction and be willing to face the scrutiny of losing that badly by like having the conviction that this is actually the best chance to win. I don't care how badly we lose. But that can also impact the players too. So there's so many factors like consider. But I hadn't thought of that study in this context before.
Interesting. Huh. Hmm. Now I'm wondering about pulling the goalie. Where in my life I should probably pull the goalie. We
I
talked
mean, it's
about,
a good,
yeah. You and I talked about the idea of killing the cow before, which is an inside joke that maybe we'll explain later. But like, it's kind of the same thing of like sometimes you got to kill the cow. Interesting. Hmm. All right. Well, again, thank you for doing this with me. Like, I feel like it's the really like the thing that made me the saddest when Pete was gone is like I just don't get to talk to Pete this regular anymore. So I really enjoyed an excuse to talk to you for an hour. I think this like when we do our drives, we've driven to New Orleans and we drove to Oklahoma City. By far, my favorite part was like the drive. And that's not to say I didn't like the game, but like just we're gonna sit
we
in the
just
car
talk
for 8 hours and talk
about
the
it.
whole time.
Yeah, just talk about whatever. It's really fun.
Yeah.